All right, I literally filmed this one and then I went to press stop recording and then I realized I wasn't recording. Okay, awesome. That's okay. That's okay. We persevere. All right, so for this problem, we're not given what to pick for our U and what to pick for our DV. And I'll kind of show you a way to know. So remember that the integral that we're going to compute is going to be v times du. So we want to make our v and our du to be something that we can do pretty nicely. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say, so again, these are my two pieces that I need to figure out which one is which. Let's say I wanted to make u sine 3t. Okay, sure. Well, its derivative is 3 cosine 3t. Cool. And then dv would be t. Its antiderivative would be t squared over 2. So that means I would be doing, in some aspect, the integral, I would do the u times v. And then I would be doing 2 squared, or t squared over 2. Like, do you see how this is really ugly? And this does not make my life any easier than this. So this might not be the way that we break up our pieces. So instead, I want to take u to be the thing that has the simpler derivative. Because look what happens when I do this. Derivative of t is 1. Antiderivative of sine 3t is going to be negative 1/3 cosine 3t. I just did that really quickly. I kind of glossed over it, but I can show you real quick how I got there. So antiderivative of sine 3t can actually be computed using a u sub, where u is equal to 3t, which makes du equal to 3 dt. Solve for dt, I get 1/3 du. Now if I rewrite this integral in terms of u, I get integral sine of u times 1/3 du. Remember, constants, pop them out there because we can. So I'm doing the integral of 1/3, or 1/3 times the integral of sine u du, which is going to be 1/3 times negative cosine u. And then I plug in my u. So I get negative 1/3 cosine 3t, which is how I did that. But, all right, great, we have that. I'm just going to put this out of the way. Hello. All right. So again, remember, we're doing u times v minus integral v du. Okay? So our integrals from 0 to pi of t sine 3t dt becomes t times negative 1/3 cosine 3t minus integral of v, which is this, times dt. Okay? If you'll notice that I'm negative, negative, so really that just becomes positive. I'm also going to kind of clean up this other side. Let's do negative t, okay. And then I'm just really doing this integral because of that double negative. Remember, constants pop out in front, so I'm actually going to do this. Okay. So now we're ready to go. So another indication of did you pick the right u, did you pick the right dv, is can you compute this integral, right? Because the integral that you're computing is always v du. Are you able to do this without having to pull out some more abstract integration besides a u sub? If you can't do this using just a u sub or one of those antiderivatives on the table that you'll be provided, then maybe you need to switch your u and your dv, or maybe you didn't do v correct. You know what I'm saying? But I think we can do this integral because we already did this integral of sine. It's the same thing where you pick u to be 3t, which makes d3 dt. If you'll let me kind of just skip over that because I already showed you how to do it with sine. It's very similar with cosine. So, all right, let me copy paste this. So we get plus 1/3. So this integral is 1/3 sine 3t. Okay? And then we need to evaluate this from 0 to pi. Because remember, it's this integral. Okay? So now we have our antiderivative and we're ready to plug in our terms. So first, so this is what we call, again, the antiderivative. We're going to call it capital F of t. So we're going to do capital F of pi minus capital F of 0. I'll set it up for you and I'll just give you the answer because I don't feel like doing all of the, you know, plug and chugging. So plugging in pi, we get minus pi cosine 3 pi over 3 plus 1/9 sine 3 pi. We get this, and then we subtract the same thing, plugging in 0. This first term is going to 0 out, so that's really nice. And then, okay. If you're freaking out about 3 pi, 3 pi is the same thing as pi on the unit circle. Okay, so don't freak out. If you do all this correctly, you should end up with pi over 3. But I'll leave you to do that to practice your simplification.